Remember my video about Highdown Hill? Highdown Hill is a chalk hill located within the South Downs National Park, not far from the town of Worthing, on the West Sussex coast. It's a small hill, 81 meters or 226 feet high, that stands just north of Ferring and is separated from the main bulk of the South Downs to the north. The hill is the traditional burial place of the kings of Sussex. I am a Yank in Sussex. In November of 2023, I published a video about Highdown Hill, the site of an Iron Age hill fort in West Sussex. A link to the original video is provided above and in the description. To summarize, as mentioned in my previous video, Highdown Hill is the traditional burial ground of the kings of Sussex, and Iron Age burials have been found here as well. What brings me to revisit Highdown is new archaeological investigations, the first since 1988, when a rescue excavation was carried out after damage from a hurricane. This event in 2025 was called the Highdown Big Dig, and it took place from 19 July to 1 August, with an open day on Saturday, 26 July, from 10 a.m. My wife and I walked up the hill to have a look. I was made aware of this event by our niece, who, as an archaeological professional, was participating in the dig. The dig was being run by the Worthing Museum, working in partnership with National Trust Archaeology and the Worthing Archaeological Society as part of the Council for British Archaeology's annual Festival of Archaeology. The Big Dig was well attended by the public, with an estimated 4,000 visitors dropping by for a look. Now, the walk up to Highdown from the parking lot near Highdown Gardens isn't difficult at all, depending upon general physical conditioning. It's what one might call a gentle walk of just over 500 meters. Along the way, one passes by the miller's tomb, which is the real tomb of the eccentric miller and probable smuggler, John Oliver. He was famous in the 1700s and operated a windmill for grinding grain, ostensibly, that was actually situated on the Highdown ramparts. When he died in 1793, he had his remains placed in this tomb. From the miller's tomb, it's just another 300 meters to the Highdown ramparts. Now, as I approached the hill fort, I saw the first part of the dig referred to as a trench, though it didn't seem deep enough to warrant being called that. The label within the enclosure called it Trench A and said that it was there to investigate possible archaeological features outside of the southeast ramparts. They were thinking they might discover graves there, but in the end they hadn't found much of interest other than some Iron Age pottery shards and 2 beads. The age of the beads will be difficult to determine and could be from anywhen from prehistoric to Saxon times. Note that they were quite organized in retaining the material dug from the trench along with the turf, and it will all be returned to its former place. And it was. When I reached the hill fort itself, I saw that there were a few display or demonstration stations. Besides the pavilion giving information about the Worthing Museum, who are one of the sponsors of the dig, as I said, there was a pavilion and a demonstration area being run by an organization called Weirod. I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Weirod are a small independent historical reenactment and living history society based in southern Hampshire. They deploy a number of seasoned reenactors with many years of experience. They portray the peoples of the time period within the 5th to 7th century, that's 425 to 680 AD or thereabouts, and take pride in representing a specific part of the early medieval period, displaying the correct costume and other equipment. They focus their research on the archaeology of the local area, which most of their replicas being based on finds from southern Hampshire, West Sussex, and southern Wiltshire, and just into Surrey. Another demonstration area dealt with Stone Age technology that was being employed in Britain at least 3,000 years ago. Rather than trying to describe this, here's a short video segment showing the demonstrator at work knapping flint. What about the dig part of the Big Dig? There were 8 open trenches, labeled A through H. I didn't collect videos or photos from them all, and unfortunately arriving late in the day I didn't have the opportunity to participate in any of the guided tours that had been offered. But available online on the Worthing Museum's website is a diary of the day-to-day progress that was being made at the site. A link to that is also available in the description. Before the actual dig began, there was a site survey done by a team of metal detectorists. They went over the site to find areas that might prove fruitful for closer examination. They did find interesting items, especially from the Roman era. These items included a number of Roman coins, all dating to the 4th century. This represented previously unknown Roman or Romano-British activity on the site. Also found was a Roman brooch from the 1st century and a complete late Iron Age silver coin. Just in case you might be wondering, the metal detectorists were doing this by assignment. Normally it is not permitted to do this kind of thing privately on National Trust land, which this is. Among other artifacts discovered during the main part of the dig were swords, rock crystal beads, a bronze hairpin, and as many as 50 late Roman coins, mainly from the 300s AD. Some preliminary results from the dig are online, but I understand that there will be a good deal of post-dig evaluation before a lot more can be said about it. Worthing Museum plans to share the full findings in a major exhibition and national conference next year. This will be entitled The Story of Highdown Hill. I look forward to this, but as of the recording of this video, the date for the exhibition isn't yet available. This may be at least partly due to the Worthing Museum currently undergoing a renovation, and it's closed. It should reopen sometime in spring or summer 2026. James Sainsbury, curator of archaeology at Worthing Museum and project director here at the dig, said the discovery of new graves at the site makes returning for more excavations in 2026 very critical. He said that Highdown is one of the earliest Saxon cemeteries in England. Discovered there previously was some of the most beautiful and rare glassware from any Saxon cemetery in Britain. On one of the Tuesdays of the dig, they found an undisturbed grave, probably of a 16-year-old girl. They also found the beginnings of another 3 graves. There may be another significant part of the cemetery which has to this point been undiscovered as well. Returning to excavate these in 2026 does depend upon funding availability. I do hope there will be more archaeological activity at Highdown in the future, and perhaps I'll be able to cover it more thoroughly then than this time. This is a Yank in Sussex, signing off for the time being. This has been a production of a Yank in Sussex. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe or follow. Thanks for watching, and may you have a very nice day.